good evening, and welcome to another segment of the Victor's Business and Motivation Hour. Una kabo, una kushe, una adu impiari seke tupia totakula abua bise. This is your show. Now we show this. This is a business and motivation hour. Now we get two segments. We get business and we get motivation. And as far as we are concerned, and motivation is the fuel you need to actually succeed in your business. So if you want to succeed in your business, this show is for you. Or if you are about to start a business that you don't know what to do, this show is for you. Or if you're already in one and you think something is missing, this show is for you. So I want to first of all apologize for coming late. I was trying to put my team together. We've got an A team for you tonight. Three very important, great entrepreneurs sharing their knowledge with you tonight. So stay tuned. Now, this show is presented by myself, Mr. Alfred Better. I normally describe myself as Mr. Rare, means I am a researcher, entrepreneurial, author, and lecturer. So probably perhaps you might see some lecturing element as I go through. Now, the show itself is brought to you by The Victors. The Victors is a success-based organization that is actually aimed at inspiring young people around the globe. It's powered by Voice of Sierra Leone Television, and one of the best television, I'll tell you, take it from me, in the kind of organization in the world. So yes, let's rock. Talking points for today. I'll do a little recap from our last week conversation for those of you who listened to or who were with us. And also, I will do a presentation of the topic for today. Then we'll have contributions from three of the special guests today, and I will let them introduce themselves later in the program after my recap. And there will be an opportunity for you to call in as well, ask questions, or you can just make comments on our Facebook page and also contribute to the topic. Like I said, this show, Nami show, now you show, now we all show. So please call in any language where you feel for call, but just that if you call it in German, I don't speak German, so you have to interpret that. Yeah, but if you want to speak Creole, French, Portuguese, English, any language you feel comfortable in, please call in. Let's make it very interesting. But this is a knowledge sharing kind of session. So we want to actually make it lively, but also educative so that you can carry it on with you. Okay, so there'll be summary at the end. Now, let's do a little recap from last week. Now, for the past 2 weeks, we have been talking about the entrepreneurial mindset. Now, the reason why we have been emphatic about the mindset is because I believe that if you want to succeed in business or your passionate life, the first thing you have to get right is your mindset. Now, a confused mindset leads to a confused business. Now, if your mindset is not right, then of course everything will fall apart. So that's why we want to work on your mindset. So if you want to start a business, you've got to have your mindset set. Now, if it's already messy, then you need to reset your mindset. So last week we looked at how you can develop the right entrepreneurial mindset. Now, for you to remember, I actually came up with an acronym called BIG PASS. You get me right? It's BIG PASS. It's an acronym. We have B square, IG, and PASS. Now, I'll take you through briefly before our main topic for today. Now, the B, number one, if you want to actually have the right entrepreneurial mindset, is to have the burning desire. Now, you have to be hungry for your dreams. You have to have a test. You have to be very hungry like a lion if you want to succeed. A burning desire is number one step to actually develop the right entrepreneurial mindset. If you want it badly, you'll get it. But if you're casual about life, remember, you end up a casualty. So we don't want you to be a casualty. That's why you have to have a burning desire. Number two was books, B. Of course, you cannot succeed in business without reading books around the area that you are in. If you're into fashion business, if you're into, say, entertainment business, you have to look for these figures in those industries who have written books about their success. They've been kind enough to actually document their stories and their tips. So the only way you can be successful is to grab those books and read them. Don't try to invent the wheel because it will take you years. For instance, it took Thomas Edison several years. He failed 1,000 times before he discovered or invented the bulb, the light bulb. You don't have to do that anymore. You want to succeed in any field, pick a book around that field and read about it. So books are very vital if you want to develop the right entrepreneurial mindset. Another one was individuals, as I. Surround yourself with the right people. Because if you don't, then it's going to mess your business up. We'll talk about that more in the coming weeks. What I call a mastermind group. You have to surround yourself with people that actually support your dream, not negative people, not people whose dreams are too small. Actually surround yourself with people who can support your dream and who actually believe in what you believe in. Next one was goals. Now you have to be a goal setter. Always set clear goals. What do you want to achieve in, say, 1-2 years from now? You got to be very clear about it. The theorists will tell you that your goals have to be smart. In other words, your goals have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. We'll talk about all those things. Those are all segments of a business that you will understand as we go in the coming weeks and months to come. Now, the next one was P, persistent. Wow, I love this one. Now, you can never, ever succeed if you give up. So persistent is like never giving up, really, even when the going gets tough. Now, a lot of people start businesses because of their mindset. Their mindset is set to make profit in the first year. They give up when they don't see the profit. Now, I can tell you, if your mindset is set for profit, you will not get, it's very unlikely that you will make profit in the first year of your business. So the only thing that keeps you going is persistence, because sometimes business is lonely, it's tough. The profession of entrepreneurs are very lonely, one of the lonely ones. You don't hear about a lot of entrepreneurs because they haven't succeeded. The ones you hear about, the Mark Zuckerberg, the Jeff Bezos, the Larry Page, Larry Ellisons, the Jack Coombs, all these big guys that you hear about. You only heard about them because they are not successful, but they failed. The next one was having absolute faith. Now you have to believe in your dreams. So if you have an idea, you have to have strong faith in that idea. Because if you don't, how do you expect others to buy your products or your services? Next one was self-talk. That's S. You always have to talk positive things to yourself. Even when the going gets tough, don't say I am bankrupt or I am hard up. Like some people that can say I hard up. No, not talk so. Just say I am going through temporary inconveniences, or I'm going through a cash flow problem. Your words are powerful. Whatever you say to yourself will haunt you or make you. So be careful what you say with your tongues. Words are very powerful. So always say positive things, even when things are going tough. Last one was self-defense. What do I mean by that? Now, the whole human being actually structure is such that we have the body, the mind, and the soul. Now, the way to get into the mind is through the body. The way to get into the soul is through the mind. And if we take it further down, the way to get into the spirit is through the soul. So the first place, in other words, what am I trying to say? The mind feeds on the body. The soul feeds on the mind, and the spirit on the soul. So you have to be careful of what goes in or who you listen to, the books you read. Don't just read every book, or don't just listen to everyone. Some people are just negative. Be careful. Stand guard at the door of at the gate of your door. You have to select or sift through the information you read. Even at home, don't just watch every TV program, because what you set to subconscious will eventually make you. You are what you think about all day long, or what you think about is actually as a result of the environment you live in. So in summary, this is exactly what we talked about last week. We did say that if you want to have or develop the right entrepreneurial mindset, you need to actually implement this acronym. So I'll leave it there. And once we go to the topic for today, but before that, I want to show you this quadrant. It talks about 4 ways to make money or income. I'm sure we all want to make money. Everybody wants to be a billionaire. The only thing is some people don't want to take the risk, or they are too afraid, or I mean, they're just afraid of taking the next step. Well, I'm going to show you the 4 ways of making money. Some of you are already in one of those quadrants, or some of you are doing even more. One of the ways to make money is by becoming an employee. As an employee, you own a job. In other words, you trade your time for money. So the more you work, the more you're paid. If you don't work, you don't get paid. That's one way to make money, becoming an employee. And we all know what that means. To become an employee means you're working for someone else. The next section or strategy to make money is through becoming self-employed. To be self-employed means you actually work for yourself. You trade your time for money, but here you have more freedom because you wake up at the time that you want to wake up and you have freedom to decide whatever you want to do. You can say no and nobody will actually hold you to ransom except your bills, because obviously you don't pay your bill. I mean, you landlord or the creditors will come after you. Another way you can make money is by becoming a business owner, which is what the show is about. Now, a business owner means people work for you. So you're actually using people to make money for you. Now, a lot of billionaires that we see today, I mean, they made their billions because they have businesses, which is what the show is about. So you can see on the screen that 95% of wealth is actually created by businessmen. The last section is an investor. Who is an investor? Somebody who invests money. So here, money works for you. So these are the 4 ways you can make money. Now, there is nothing wrong to make money, I mean, in all of the 4 areas. For instance, I'll give you an example. Me, an employee. I get a job right now while I work. But I'm also self-employed. I mean, a consultant. I work for people then, Then I get businesses back. I mean, I possibly get business. I have over 5-6 businesses. I've even lost count of the number of businesses that I've started. I'm also an investor. I invest money. So there's nothing wrong to have 4 different ways of making money. The only thing is, don't depend on one source. Like we can say, don't put your eggs in one basket, except if the basket is very good. Don't put your egg in one basket, please. But again, this show really is about becoming a business owner. I know a lot of you have not started a business. You want to start a business, so you want to know how to go about them, which is why you have to tune in every 10 p.m. Now, so our topic for today, that takes us to our topic for today. The topic for today is this: the basic tools that you will need to start your business right now. Now, in other words, what do you need right now for start business? So if you want to start a business right now, what do you need? What are the tools then? Just like a doctor will need a lot of tools, a carpenter will need tools. As a business owner, there are certain tools that you need to have in your possession if you are to successfully run that business. So with me today, I get 3 lovely speakers. So I've been doing the talking. I'm going to actually take the back seats and invite them one by one, and we'll have a very lovely conversation. And if you want to join in, please call the number at the time. We'll let you know when to call in. Not now, please, because we want our guest speakers to bombard us with the ideas. We want to make it a tweet. We said they can't turn student today, and they turn student. Here I was. So on the first guest I get today, my beautiful lady. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. We call her beauty with brains. If I be beautiful, but if you don't get brain, I beauty, then forget it. So there's nothing wrong. You go fine, but fine with intelligence. And intelligence really is something you go acquire. It's not you don't need to be a genius to be intelligent. You just need to read and educate yourself. So we get a lady with us by the name of Meros Tamuk. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this on here right. Please forgive me, Meros, later. She's the CEO of SALONE. She'll tell us more about that. She's also a professional makeup artist. Wow, how can I make up me? And she's also an inspirational speaker, and she's a writer. And a youth and children. Wow, you are going to see. You go able. So welcome, our guest speaker. Please introduce yourself, including what you do, and we'll take it from there. Thank you, Meros.
So thank you very much, Alfred. Hello, everyone, and hello, viewers. I'm Meros Modufederica Tamuke, and I am the CEO of SLADE.io, Sierra Leone Dreamer Life Youth Organization, and also the CEO and founder of Mel's Moment, Sierra Leone. It's a motivational talk show for young people to bring them on board, because all of us are going through different things in our life that actually depress us. So I thought about it. If we have to go through depression, we don't have to go through it alone. So I create the platform, we come on board and we talk about it, and I make sure you feel better for the next moment of your life. So basically that's what I do. And on the other hand, I do makeup. I'm a makeup artist, I'm a video editor, and I'm a youth activist. I think pretty much that's it.
Wow. So you're doing a lot of things. You're wearing a lot of caps. So how do you really manage to? How do you manage to actually kind of manage all those jobs? You know, how do you cope? How do you manage your time? Basically,
it's crazy being a very young person in my mid-20s. It's actually crazy for me to do everything together, but I have to prioritize my priority. And you know, I'm on my internship right now. I'm working, so I have to work till 5 every day. So the remaining hours I have to make sure I make good use of it. Coming home, not being able to sleep. Sometimes I even sleep at 2 and get up before 6. I have to go to work again. So it's a matter of sacrifice and focus. This is all it's about.
So towards there is a matter of sacrifice and focus. And the beauty is we all have 24 hours. So yes. If you think, even the rich has 24 hours. So it all depends on how effectively you make use of these 24 hours. It's very important. Yeah. So thank you very much. We'll bring you back on board, but I want to go to my second guest, who is also another beautiful lady. In fact, she's currently the presenter of the US, one of the presenters of the US. She's Amira Wilson, CEO and founder of Fashion House of Leons. And also she's the founder of Second Chance Fashion. Wow. I need you for Dress Me. Another I need, right? So my dress code for this program, and they put under your hand, Amira, you know. So welcome, Amira, to the show. Please introduce yourself to our audience and what you do, please. Throw some more lights.
Well, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's an awesome show. I've been learning more. Even though if you're an entrepreneur, it's great to get more knowledge. You have to always feed yourself every day. So I'm definitely going to put your show out there on my end. But yes, again, my name is Almira Wilson. I actually have a show on here. It's called The Almira Show. And I'm a fashion designer. And I have a nonprofit business that deals with teaching those who are less fortunate how to gain a craft or learn a trade within the fashion industry so that they can turn their lives around and do the things that, you know, make them happy. But I just love to help others. And in the beginning, I just didn't know how to do it. But, you know, God just kept speaking to me and telling me, hey, use your gift, use what's in your hands to bless others. And fashion is my life. I love it. And I also like to speak. So, you know, being able to wear the fashions I have, putting it on the mainstream is just a double whammy, but yeah.
Wow, good. Excellent. So I just wanted to ask, well, I think you touched on that. What actually prompted you to start a business around fashion? But I think you answered that question already by saying that's what you love, is your passion. And also you like speaking. So you're combining both. You see, so as a talent in you that you discovered, how did you discover that talent? And that's something that's very important before we move on to the next case. How did you discover your talents for fashion?
You know, it was a time when I was a little girl, and I loved to take magazines and take that transparent paper. And even though I didn't know how to sketch the models on my own, or, you know, how a design should look on a regular piece of paper, I would take the transparent paper, place it in the magazine, sketch what was there, and then it just started motivating me to go further. And then, you know, you show your mother, you show those who believe in you, and they're just encouraged, oh, I like what you're doing, keep going, keep going, keep going, even the art teacher at school. So that helped out a lot. and pushing you forward in passion.
That's actually going. So one of the secrets I actually buy that as well is always, if you want to do something around what you love, is to actually ask people, what people have been saying about you. Positive things could be just what exactly your passion is or your talent is. Exactly in the case of Amira, that's exactly what happened to her. She's now living her dreams. I know it's not been an easy ride, but you tell us more about that later. But okay, thank you very much. Please hang in there. And whilst we go to our next guest for tonight, it's no other person but Mr. Mohammed Sandi. He's currently the country director of the Victors USA, and he's also a youth activist. He's a motivational speaker. He's an entrepreneur. In fact, he has a lot of businesses in Sierra Leone right now. He'll tell us more about it. So, Mr. Mohammed, welcome to the Victors Motivation and Business Hour. Can you kindly introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you very much, Alfred. Thank you, my viewers. My name is Mohammed Sandi. For the past 10 years now, I've been in youth development work, in developing young people, helping them to actually maximize their potentials and unlock the potential that is in them. Like Alfred rightly said, I initially started working with the YMCA back home as the regional director, later moved to the United States. Right now, I work for TCI Solutions as the Legacy Youth Development Specialist. And I've been a youth advocate, a youth, normally they do say youth activist. But then essentially what we do here is to help young people as well, the same path, career path, in helping them to really develop their God-given potentials, and that's what we do. And on the other hand, I also wear a cap as the country director for Victors, which Alfred happens to be the CEO, and I own my own business as an entrepreneur. I have a business known as the Rafa Trading Enterprise. It's a pharmaceutical business that has been running in Sierra Leone, of which I'm the CEO. And I've been on that for the past 5 years. So you can see that it's a mix. I have a different shades of background in terms of both an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and all of that put together. That's me. So thanks for having me, Alfred, and my co-panelists.
That's fine. So one thing that is very common, very similar between all the three of us, even the four of us, is that we are all speakers. And we are all inspirational speakers, and that's beautiful. So I think we need to storm Sierra Leone and with our motivational speak. We need to host something very big so we can expand the young generation. I think we should do this. Okay, now let's go back to our topic for today. The topic for today really is the basic tools that you need to start your business right now. So if you're thinking right now, I want to start my business, I don't know what tools I should actually start with. Today's show is all about that, really. So this guest that I have with me will be really talking about the tools that they actually think are the fundamental tools that you need to have if you want to start your business around what you love. The key thing is setting a business around your passion, what you love. I always stress that because the reason is business is tough, it's challenging. Now, the only way you can actually carry on is because you're doing something that you really love. That's why you can sit throughout the night and do what you're doing. Otherwise, you give up. That's why you see a lot of businesses failing today, because a lot of people just go into it because they want to make money. And at the end of the day, they find out it's not as easy as they expected. So they actually drop out. Now, so I'll bring in our first speaker, which is Merus, to tell us exactly, Merus, just give us an experience. I mean, sort of an explanation of when you started your business. What tools did you use? Or what tools did you use actually to start the business? Or what tools actually vital if someone that is listening to you right now should actually have in order to start a business around your area, for instance?
Okay, so being a makeup artist is one. I decided to talk on makeup because it's what's trending right now in Sierra Leone. Like everyone want to become a makeup artist, and being a makeup artist has its own challenges, but before you actually think about venturing into that business, I think the most important thing for you to think is, do I love this art? Do I love the job? This is why I'm happy you stress on what you are passionate about, because a lot of us actually go into business because we want the money, or because we see that business as a financially stable. So we tend to actually go into the business because we want to reap the benefits of the business. And trust me, Alfred, if you do not love what you're doing, there will come a time when things will get difficult, things will get crazy, and it will even get stuck for a long time. And it only takes love and passion actually for what you're doing to make you actually stay in that business till it gets back to its feet. So I think this is the first step for someone to do before venturing into any business. You have to make sure this is what, oh, okay, this is it. You know that this is it motion, like this is it. This is
Right,
it.
this is it. So in your words, that you are actually saying to someone who is listening to us right now, if
Yeah.
they are about to start a business, they have to be sure that what business they're going into is something they actually love doing, that is
Yeah.
around their passion, or let's put it simply, around their talents, what they're actually good at doing or what they love doing. That's the key, because I do agree, because there's a talent in every one of us. I think, but again, but someone would say, how do I discover my talent or passion? Because not everyone, in fact, so I read a quote that says, talks about the fact that everyone has a talent, but a lot of people struggle to find one. So
Yeah.
what would be...
Alfred, it's really challenging. Honestly, in your own part of the world, I'll say it's rather fortunate for you guys, because you have the platform created for you guys to actually be able to spot what you like doing. But in Africa and Sierra Leone, to be particular, honestly, most of us only got like privileged by the grace of God to actually know what you love doing at this early age. Because when you go to school, the people around you do not ask you what you're passionate about. They ask you what you want to become: a lawyer, a banker. We have four types of how do I say, careers that we actually revolve around: is the lawyer, the doctor, the banker, and the what is it again? The accountant. These are the four things. I don't know if you can be maybe a witness to what I'm saying. When we were growing up, these were the four respectable careers we had in Sierra Leone, right?
Yeah.
If you ask someone, what do you want to become? I want to become a doctor, and everyone will applaud you for it. And these are just professions. I mean, like, there's someone out there who is really passionate about tailoring. There's someone out there who is really passionate about makeup. There's someone out there who is passionate about hair. You know, we all have our individual gift that God has deposited in us. And if we do not tap into it by getting to know ourselves, the things we love, the things that we find ourselves doing, even when we are hot, even when we are sad, we just do them because we know that when we do them, we'll find ourselves happy. These are one of the things that, if you are lucky to find out at this early age, you get to generate all your effort on these things. And if you do what you love, there is 100% chance of you becoming someone very successful in life. It may not necessarily be the most richest person, but at the end of the day, people will know you for something that you really love, and they will respect and accept you for who you are. The other speaker just now was saying the people around her actually spotted that she was good at what she did, right, Alfred?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have people around you that are supportive, that take time to actually observe you, this is what that is lacking in our society nowadays. You know, you find some people really amazing at what they do, but at the end of the day, without encouragement, they stop doing it, and they just focus on the money, because this is what society is expecting of them. So at the end of the day, they don't get to do what they love doing. They get what they have to do. And living your life like that doesn't mean you're living at all, because when you die as an ordinary person. They won't remember you for any mark that you made in the world. Amira was just saying that now she has a fashion line. Anything you say right now about fashion, Amira's name will definitely come up with Sierra Leone community and the world as a whole, because she loves what she's doing, and she's doing it because it's what she came to this world to do. So I think this is the first step which is very, very mandatory. And I see it very lacking. This is why I'm emphasizing on it. Every day I talk to people, Alfred, I see
passion,
lacking. It is lacking. Every day it is lacking.
Meros, let me just interject. Meros, I think we can pin this back to our national culture. I can relate with you because I was born in Sierra Leone. I raised up in Sierra Leone. I went to school in Sierra Leone, and before I actually came here to study. Now, my dad, may his soul rest in peace, used to say to me, Alfred, go to school and become a doctor. And that has been my number one goal. And trust me, I will be a doctor in the next 2 months or so, yes. But the truth of the matter, I did that for my dad because he instilled in me that the only way I can succeed is to be a doctor. And I think so. I think we have this job mindset in Sierra Leone, in Africa to be specific. You know, we will always say, go to school, get a job, and work for somebody else. That's why you see the Lebanese, for instance, people coming from Lebanon or from different parts, foreigners, even from Nigeria, coming to a country like Sierra Leone and still succeed. And without even having a degree, they end up even hiring somebody who has gone to FBC or IPAL. Yeah. Because our culture has made us understand that the only way to succeed is to have a white-collar job. And this is something we need to educate the youth. Now, I can always say it's difficult for teach old dog new tricks. So what we have to do perhaps is to just start with the young ones, you know, even start from the primary school or nursery schools. Let them know that there's a talent in them and that they can actually do something around their talent and make people to pay them for their talent. It's very possible. Well, let me leave it there. You please hold on as I go on to our next guest, Almeria, to tell us exactly what her view is. If you want to start a business, you know, for instance, what tools in your view do you think you have to get ready before you start? And I really want you to do this in relation to your own experience when you were setting up your businesses, please. So let it be more out of experience than theory. So people can actually understand that, okay, if I want to be in the fashion industry, for instance, X, Y, and Z is what I have to put in place. Over to you, Almeria.
Okay, so with my love for my passion and my love for fashion, I knew I needed to, you know, you have so many ideas as a creative and you want to do everything at once, but the best advice I ever got was get a journal. Always carry a journal and a pen in your hand. Walk around with it every time you have an idea, jot it down. You're not going to do everything at one time, but you're going to have to pace yourself, but at least you won't forget the ideas you had in the beginning. And if you want to really make sure that that's your passion, because you may be struggling to see if it's either, you know, do I really want to be a designer, and that's what happened for me. Do I want to be a designer, or do I want to continue in doing computers? Because that's what I graduated in from the University of Maryland. And I said, you know, the idea that came to me was, let me go ahead and submerge myself in that atmosphere. Let me get around others who are just like me, who love fashion. They're a stylist, either they're just a blogger, vlogger, or someone who's a merchandiser, just anyone and everyone who loved fashion just like I did. So I would go to different meet and greets. They have this website online that's I don't know if it's still up, but it's called meetup.com. And you type in your hobby and you try to find out if there's any local groups around you that are concentrating on that same hobby. And so I found one in Georgetown. And so it was about 10 of us people who are aspiring designers. And a few of them in there actually went to fashion school, but they were just looking for people in the area who they could throw thoughts to, they could bounce ideas off of, and just to make sure that they were in the right area at the right time. And from that, I built great relationships. It even made my love for fashion get deeper, because they showed me more than what I just saw on TV. They gave me a deeper understanding of the other things that people don't even understand. Like fashion is not just about sewing and taking a product and bringing it online. You can be the person who's the magazine editor for a fashion magazine. You can be a reporter for fashion. You can do everything that's already out in the world. You can be a marketing agent. You don't have to just be the designer. But if you love the industry, then submerge yourself in it and see what you may want to do, because at first it was, I like sewing, but I don't know if I want to sew for everybody. I love to design. And it came 5 years later that I realized, oh no, I don't want to sew for everybody's mama and their grandmother. I want to just sketch it, send it off to the manufacturer, let them sew it for me. So that's a good tool. Carry a journal, drop all your ideas that you have and submerge yourself. Find a group of people who are just like you, who just want to know, or they're already in it, and see if you like it.
We've got 3 inspiring points. The first one was from Meros, passion. We got another one from Almira, talking about having a journal, create a journal actually with you, and also relates or surround yourself with the right people in your industry. So for instance, in our case, she's a fashion designer, and because she wanted to excel in her field, she always actually surrounded herself around people who are passionate about fashion and kind of the thing. Then even in the fashion industry, it's actually a very big area. You have to find people that are actually doing what exactly you're doing in your field. So thank you very much. I'll come back to you, Almira. Let's go to our last speaker for tonight. The reason why I've actually put it in this order is because they said women first. So the men will actually step back. And Mr. Mohammed, I'm trying to disconnect, but please forgive me. Right. So Mr. Mohammed, on the same topic, when you were starting your business, what tools did you use that you can actually share with our audience tonight? I want you to be very bold. You want to talk Creole at this point, talk Creole, please. Okay? You want to talk English? Talk English. You ready? You have my blessing.
Thank you very much, Alfred, for having me. It's indeed an interesting topic. When I was back home in Sierra Leone, the entrepreneurial environment was not that too conducive, I would say. But the tools that I used in starting up my own business there, even though I was working, was I first of all developed a research around what I wanted to do. Initially, let me give you an example. I wanted to go into fashion, like my sister rightly said. I wanted to open a boutique company.
Hey.
Yeah, that thought came to me. But again, I know, I mean, I like good dress. I like to really dress well, all the time, look good and stuff like that. But then I for some reason, I had to like put 2 ideas that I had. One is to take a path in pharmaceutical industry, that is to open a pharmacy. And I took these 2 things on board. But then people who had ideas, who had started the business before me, I spent time around them, going every day after work, I have to go sit with them, those who've actually succeeded in it. And I started understanding, doing more research around what does it really take. And I was able to learn doing that. I mean, I took months, hanging out with them, trying to understand, go to their business places, like the People's Pharmacy, other places that I knew. I mean, I befriend them. And through that, I was able to learn. So I did research around them. Everything has to do with that particular industry. And the other thing I did was to also make a plan. After I had, done my research, both through literatures that I was able to grasp at that time, and also meeting one-on-one, meeting with these people, spending time in their business places, trying to see how the business goes and things like that, all of that. So, and then the other thing I did was to develop the concept, the idea. I put pen to paper, all of those ideas, the fine ideas, I was able to scribble those ones and try to plan my finances. How much am I going to really invest into the business? How much do I need? Sometimes, and I tell you what, Alfred and viewers, it wasn't easy because, like I said initially, to even get a startup capital was something really, really difficult. And what I did was to save my personal savings, what I used to get from my job. I was saving that one, my savings, and also all the consultancies I was doing on the side. I was able to, bring that on board and started the investment. And I choose my business structure. Sometimes it could be a sole proprietorship, whatever it is. If you want to join forces with somebody else, if you have the idea, the individual has the money, but I didn't take that route. I did it solely. My own savings was what I used to start the business with. It wasn't easy, but I did it. I saved my money. And also I had to like find a business name, because you have to have a brand. You have to have a business name no matter what. So these are key. You have to have your business name. Like for instance, I don't know, for Melrose, she chose her own business name, because there are people out there who are doing similar business just as what you're doing. But you have to have your own business name. You have to create your own brand for yourself. And then the other thing I did was to get my licenses and my permits. I went to Roxy Building. Registered my business with a very small sum, and later, I was given the permit and I started my business. And I also choose open my account. I have my account name with my business and everything. And the last thing I did was to now look for my location, which I got around Lumley, because again, location matters in every business. No matter what you do, you have to have a location. But overall, these are some of the steps that I took actually in starting my business. It wasn't easy, but I was able to overcome. And my previous speaker said you have to develop passion for what you're doing and be consistent. That's what I often say. You have people who definitely shut you down when you start. You have your desire that will tend to kill you, those dreams. So that's it. Okay.
That's true. Wow. I was, like I said today, I'm going to be a student. I'm going to do less of the talking. I'd like you guys to teach me and the audience. And that's exactly what you're doing. I'm really, really super proud. I'm really proud of Naol. Naol really teach me, and I'm sure our audience are really enjoying the show. I'm sure of that. I can feel it in my spirit. And so thank you very much. But I want to pick, before I go to Meros, Mr. Mohammed. Now,
yes.
We had a conversation. This is actually was off records, but I'm going to bring it on here now. And you said when you started, when you want to start your business, you said you actually went around a gentleman called Amdalai, and who is a man that did not go to school, or is one of the richest men in Sierra Leone in terms of the pharmaceutical industry. So I'm not trying to pick on him, but he actually he has little education, but he's still rich. And so what you did was you said, probably I'll let you expand on that. You went at the very beginning of your business, went to him every time you finished school to just learn the trade. How was that? Take us through that kind of experience, because a lot of people want to start their business, but they might want to take that route.
Yeah. So what I did was every time evening when I'm off from work, I go there, sit in their store where they had their business, Every time I had to go there, sit with them. I really immersed myself into what they were doing. And every day I was there, like shadowing. You know what I mean? Like I was like they'll say job shadow, somebody's teaching you how to exactly start.
Sorry to say, at this time you were doing your degree at FBC, right?
Oh yes. Yes. And at the same time, yes. By the time I was now doing my master's program.
Your master's.
When I yeah. Right. So every time I used to go sit with them at Anjala. So every time when I'm off, I'll come spend some time with them, have some chat, and they open up. They tell you, oh man, we really inspired, because some people feel it's when you have a white collar job that makes you, get all the money. But you developing the entrepreneurial mindset, for me, I see it as a very good spirit, and I'm going to definitely ensure that you succeed in whatever you're doing. And I used to go sit with them, and they opened up to me, started teaching me the basics, how to start. It wasn't really easy, and they taught me all the basics that I needed, And sometimes one of the things I learned from them was self-discipline. You have to be financially, you have to be disciplined. How you manage your resources, because
just get money today. You start using your profit, buy a bag.
So you have to really know.
That's the mistake. A lot of people do. Go ahead. So.
That's it. So they started teaching me exactly. Hey, when you have money, make sure you don't spend more than what you earn. You spend below what you earn. At least that could help you. And if you are doing business, don't not get too much once. Let you want some really limited. And dressing will come later. You get for deprive yourself from a lot of things. Lot of things. No more. You get for look good when you go out for approach people then, but no more. Make sure you really cut down on your expenditure and focus on the business. Focus on the business.
That's true. I think I agree with you there. A lot of reason why people fail is because they want to leave more than what they're earning. So
Yeah.
so okay. Let me come back to mirrors. Mirrors. One of the main issues, I know you interact with a lot of youths in Sierra Leone, and when you ask them to do business, one of the things that they perhaps would tell you is that they don't have money. So one of the excuses that they will say, actually, I don't want to start a business because I don't have money. I have this idea, but no money. What would you say to somebody who has a very brilliant idea right now and wants to start, but has no money in a difficult environment like Sierra Leone? Meros, over to you.
In year 2, I had this entrepreneurship lecturer. Her name is Mrs. Claudia. She told us the first thing you need in a business is not actually the finances. It was the idea that was needed. At first, I was dumbfounded and I was like a bit skeptical about it. And I was like, I mean, that the money important. How comes now the idea? I'm like, really? But eventually she took time, different classes, she took time and explained to us why it was necessary for the idea to be there. And honestly, when I grew up about like 2 to 3 years now, and I was like, okay, now I understood what Mrs. Claudia was actually saying. When you have the idea, it's more better because you are equipped, you know exactly what you want to do, you know how you want to do it. So the moment you meet someone, you have something to present to them. Recently, I found out that people don't invest in you. They invest in what you do. This is what I found out. And honestly, everything about me changed since that day I found that out. And it's really, I think this is what is missing in Sierra Leone environment. People actually think that people see them as potential profit rather than seeing what they can offer. Honestly, Alfred, I don't think you will invest in me if I don't have anything to give you.
No way. I'll just give it. I'll show you the back door.
Right. And I think Amira as well can attest to that, honestly, because you cannot invest in something that you actually don't have any benefits from. So if someone is gonna invest money in you, or you're gonna approach someone to invest money in you, I think you have to come up with something that the person needs, or find a way to convince this person that, okay, I have this, I can offer this, and I need this in return. So I had this guy I spoke with about a week or 2 ago. So we were talking and I told him, okay, I can offer you editing because I'm an editor right now. I actually did the course about a month ago. So now I do the video editing myself for my short inspirational videos. So I told this guy, I said, okay, I can offer free editing for you. You can give me whatever you want to give me. And in return, I need this and you can do this for me. You understand? And they were like, okay, it's been a while. We've been looking for an editor. And I said, okay, I can do it. That's why I have job and all. I don't mind sleeping late at night, but I can do this work for you. You understand? You do the video and you give me the editing. I do it and I send it back to you, the finished content. And they were like, okay, we're happy we have got someone like you. So apart from being a makeup artist, apart from being a motivational, inspirational speaker, I also do editing, and I'm also a human resource management student in college, and I'm graduating this year.
Superwoman.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for those of you out there. Sorry.
There's no excuse. And also there was this guy I approached, and before I honestly did not have anything I could offer to this guy. And I was thinking, apart from makeup, this guy is a dude and I want him to invest in me, or what can I come with to the table? So I started doing this other course about social media marketing and all. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm doing this course right now. And in a few weeks, I'm going to be finished. And I can actually help you promote your modeling brand. And it was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. He says, so how good are your marketing skills? And I told him, it's sharpening right now. So just give me a bit of time. And when I'm finished, I'll get back to you. And it's like, okay, I'm waiting. So this was the guy who was not interested in what I had to offer. But when I upgraded my skills, eventually, he now sees me as something he can invest in. He now sees me as someone he can work with. So if you do not have something you bring to the table, there will be no way someone is buying something for you. There's nothing.
I agree 100%. So to summarize, your point is like saying, go to the marketplace, which is it's your seed and not your need.
Yes.
So In other words, your seed is the idea. So, for instance, if you want someone to invest in you have to have an idea that is very attractive enough.
You have you,
It has
they
to be a
usually,
win-win situation.
they,
No,
they
if I'm
usually
investing in you, I need to know exactly what I'm going to get.
yes, they usually say
Yes.
readiness meets opportunity. It is
Yeah.
important. If someone is going to do something for you, or if you're going to meet someone for the first time, you have to be ready for it. This is what is lacking in us Sierra Leoneans. Someone was just telling me today that I want to go to college, but I don't have the money. I said, that's no excuse. Get your documents ready, meet people, tell them if a few people give you $500, 500,000 leons, at least you can gather that and pay half of the semester. Till the end of the semester, you will have some way to have money. This is not, I told her, I said, have a plan, and then
this is the beauty of having an entrepreneurial mindset. You're thinking like an entrepreneur. So I have 1 million to pay as a school fees. I don't just put the burden on one person. I will get my documents ready. I will meet 100 people and share them or divide the money into 100, and it becomes easy peasy. So you think like an entrepreneur, not like a job holder. Thank you. Let's go back to Meryl. Not Meryl, actually, Almira Wilson. Almira, just want you to comment. I know that the environment is a bit different. In the US, probably it's easy. It might be relatively easier to raise seed capital. But I'm sure you would have interacted because you do speak to Sierra Leoneans as well. I'm sure this is the same issue that they bring up to you, or people from Africa or in developing countries. So what would you say to someone listening, in addition to what Meryl has said? What would you advise someone who wants to start a business right now, has all the great ideas, but no money? He's complaining. He or she is saying, I cannot start because I don't have money. And because of that, he sits down at home, started groaning. What would you say to that kind of person that is listening to us right now?
First things first, over here in the US, we have something called the SBA. It's a Small Business Administration. And it's in every state. It's in actually every county, because our states break down into counties, or counties and then cities. But within them, they have counselors who will take your business plan. First of all, they'll help you develop the business plan. There'll be a lot of workshops and classes to help aid you through the process. If you need help going over yours, they're right there with you to help you, from the mission statement to researching who your competition is, all the way to the financial aspects of it. And then even finding an investor for you, because the SBA has many people who've already graduated their programs or have gone through their workshops, and now they like to give money back to new entrepreneurs. So they're even seeking for people to give money to. There's even nonprofits that are over here that invest into small businesses. And this is really a great time for minorities, because, oh my goodness, there's so many programs where they're just trying and trying and trying to get you to take money from them. Yeah, there may be a process to go through, but if you show interest in maybe getting grant funding from a certain organization, you just need to attend the meetings and put your face out there. It's just like what Melrose was saying. You're just taking, for me, it's like you're taking a leap of faith. Yeah. If you just complete the paperwork and walk over there, like for me, I just finished doing my fashion STEM program. And for a long time, I didn't believe in myself to really complete it or do it, or do I even have the credentials to do it? But I love teaching on top of speaking and doing and teach. So it was just for me to sit down, create the curriculum, write everything down on paper, put my pricing. If I was confused, go back to the SBA or go back to someone who's been there and done that, a mentor that can give more advice on your topic. Have them proofread it, and then begin to send it out. Just email it. I've already had 2 schools who have hit me up now, and they're just like, hey, I like your program. Have you ever thought about going to this school? And then you start getting leads. Just like she said, you get one person, but then there's many people along the way you're going to meet. So it's crazy. You meet them in the weirdest places. Like I was at a pop-up shop and this lady comes in. She's like, hey, I'm trying to find designers to do a movie and do the costumes for the movie. And I was like, oh, that's great. That's what I wanted to venture into. But then as we kept talking, come to find out, she's actually at a public charter school doing a similar program that I just finished writing. So then she sits there and gives me all the advice. And I'm just like, Go ahead, God. Like, look at this. Yeah. Okay, my prayers are coming true. So it's so true. If you just do that first step, write the vision, make it plain, get an accountability partner, which can also be the mentor.
Accountability partner, that's key. Yeah, that's
So
key.
they can keep up on you, because earlier you were talking about goals.
Yeah.
So as you've set those goals, you yourself may fall behind, but you have that accountability partner to come back and say, hey, did you finish doing the mission statement? Did you finish doing this? Our deadline is this. Both of us need to have our business plans done by the end of this month. Is this done? Is that done? So yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Oh, thank you very much for sharing that experience. Because even in the UK, we have a lot of minorities that they want to start businesses, but they don't really know how to go about it, and they're still struggling in a 9 to 5. Some even do more than 9 to 5. They are fed up, with their jobs, and they really want to change their jobs or do something meaningful, but they don't know the know-how. So this is why this program is actually very important, because in the coming weeks and months and year, we'll be actually sharing a lot of tips that will actually ensure that you live the life that you were created for. Because you were born to succeed, you were born for greatness, you were born to actually live your life to the fullest. The God who created you because he really wants you to live long and enjoy the life to the fullest. So if you're living average right now, it's because you haven't taken that leap of faith. Like Admira just said, take the first step. It will lead you to so many steps. I'll give you an example. When I started writing, I've been lecturing for some time now, but I never wrote a book. So I decided I want to write a book. The reason why, because sometimes you're afraid that, people will actually, because you have make some mistakes and people will talk about the mistakes. But I just ignore the noise. I just, I'm throwing myself into this. I'm just going to write because I will progress as I go. So that's how I started my first book. And even when I kind of published it on Amazon, I started seeing some errors and I corrected them as I go. And, there's always going to be a process. Some mistakes on the way, but you see it as a learning point. So thank you very much. Mr. Mohammed, you've had Meruz and you've had Almiria talking about the fact that both of them are sharing the fact that you need to have an idea. You don't really need to worry about money. Money is a byproduct of doing something really, really good. So if you do something really good, people will pay you for it. So what would you say? I just wanted to kind of pick on your brain and see what you think.
Absolutely. I agree with my two speakers there, Melrose and then Tumuke. Yeah. Their contributions are very, 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 very vital. In this discourse. The whole thing is, if you don't have the idea and believing in that idea, having that idea and then taking the right action, the step in achieving that dream is very, very key. The idea is there, but then faith without action is dead. So you need to definitely take an action. And how do you take the action? Is the resources that she spoke about, like for instance, I don't know, maybe it's not too common, but here in the US, you're so surrounded with a lot of resources. Like she spoke about the small business administration, that kind of, they help you out. Really, if you have your idea, they help you, tailor these ideas together, and then they'll also connect you, give you a lead as to where you can really generate the resource, the money you need. But it starts with taking an action, a concrete action, and ensuring that you are really consistent and persistent in what you are doing. Yeah, because you can't just start. You just have an idea today and then, leave it jagged. But rather, you have to be very, very, very consistent in what you're doing, believe in what you're doing, and then pursue it to the letter. No matter what, stick to it, and then make sure you push that through. I believe you must have people that could definitely give you the ancillary support that you need to succeed. Back home, I know it's challenging, but if you have a good idea, you have a brilliant idea, stick to that idea. Go in for it, and don't listen to too much of the detractors. They can definitely kill your dream. So stick to it and make sure you push it through, no matter what. You have to really, really, when entrepreneurs are people who are really, really, who stay focused on what they're doing. and they make sure they immerse themselves in what they are doing. And at the end of the day, you see results. No matter what, you have to stick to what you're doing, be consistent, be persistent, and pursue your dreams. Don't walk into other people's dreams. I mean, it's very, very key. Alfred.
That's fine. Don't walk into other people's dream. Be focused. Don't be distracted. Stay on your lane. Stay in your lane. That's the message from our stay in your lane. No jump. Another person lane. Then the person they go in your lane. You know, like when you are on the M4 or maybe driving on the highway, everybody needs to stay in your lane. Not get distracted. Like you pass with your Porsche or your Range Rover. That day with me Ford. I'm not saying one day I will take like me Range Rover. Stay on your lane. Now, very important. At a land, you know, life is very, you know, I'm really learning right now tonight. Now, the message that is coming from our guest speakers are that one, don't worry about money. What you have to worry about is fine-tuning the idea. Have a great idea. You know, find the right people that actually can work with you around that idea. Take action, because if you get good idea, you not take action, it amounts to zero. It's going to be as useless as, I don't know how to compare it to. But have an idea, take action, be persistent, be consistent. Wow, this is real. And also the idea should be around your passion. I love Meros and Mira, the language. I love that. You have to love who you want to do. So at this point, we're going to have a short break so that I can let you drink some water and also let the audience, you know, the one calling me, have a call and ask those questions or make those contributions. Any language you want to speak, just please call. If now German say you want to speak, call me. I'll speak German back to you, okay? Okay. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have something from the guest speakers, probably let's say a last word from them, or probably there'll be questions from the audience that you probably want to answer. And but if there is none, I hope there is, we'll just let you summarize your points, and I'll also summarize, that will wrap up the program. So but for now, let's go for a short break, and whilst we relax, be sure to come back.
Job, on a presenter for Salone Education for All. This program go to count on every Wednesday 9:30 na Voice of Salone TV network. Ambulem, I want to grab on a cup of juice, when I get something on go drink, and let us sit down and relax and watch we and what they do na this show. And we always even encourage you now, let us self call in and give una wonderful contribution, send your comments na the content box, or we're able to read. And also, I want to remind you for let una share, invite your loved ones, invite family, so that we all go come together and join and push Salone go before. Thank you now all.
Yes, welcome back to the Victor's Motivation and Business Hour. This has been a very great show so far with our three guests, Admira Wilson, Mohammed Sandi, and Mary Stemoko. Two beautiful women, two handsome men. We're very handsome and so beautiful women. So we'll be sharing ideas around, the tools that you need to start your business. So before we actually come to our guest speakers again, I'll just briefly go through our Facebook comments. There have been a lot of comments there, but I cannot really see them all. Admira William is saying, thank you for your encouragements. Admira, you've been encouraging them out there. And this person said, thank you, guys. This person said, brilliant. So Mohammed Med Taru says, people like to copy your successful stories, but they'll never ask for the storms they went through. Very true. This person said, just give us some love sign. Very true, sir. Welcome. So a lot of positive messages from the audience. I cannot really, for some reason, see each and every one of them, as I don't know if my phone is giving me some problems. But this is an opportunity for you to call in right now. And there is a number on the screen. So please, the floor is open. If you want, call me right now for contribute to this program or ask questions to Almeria, Mr. Mohammed, the student in the studio, and Meros. You want to call me right now, please call in. Or if you just want to ask questions or you just want to contribute, please call in so that we will learn. Because the only way we grow is when we learn, from each other. I don't have all the answers. Meros hasn't got all the answers. Mr. Mohammed hasn't got all the answers. And Mira hasn't got any answers. What we are trying to do is we are trying to synergize. Now, there's what we call synergistic effect. Now, 2 + 2 = what? Some go say 4. No, it's wrong. 2 + 2 is not equals to 4. Anybody asks you, say, I'm talking, yeah? 2 + 2 is equals to 5. Yes, can beat me. But I said so. Now, no, but let me just explain what it means. That's a concept called synergy, synergistic effect. So when you succeed, when you actually achieve much more than you put in, is synergy. So yes, we know 2 + 2 = 4. That's normal. But is it possible for 2 + 2 = 5? Is it possible to exceed what you've set yourself? Let's say, for instance, you're working for a big organization and they say to you, you have to make a sale of £100 million a month. And that's your target, right? So let's put in your time and you get 100 million. But is it possible to get more than 100 million a month? Yes. Yes. That is when you synergize. Make sure you put in everything. Another example is, let's say a farmer. Let's take a farmer, for instance. A farmer, let's assume that you have a fixed plot of land and you have a bag of rice, okay? And let's say if you plant or sow the seed of 1 bag, let's say when you harvest, it gives you 10 bags. Let's say every season, this is actually has been a normal routine. So 1 bag gives you 10 bags on a fixed plot of land. All right, that's fine. We have a caller on the line. Caller, what's your name and what's your contribution or question, please? Hello, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Alfred, Mohamed Taiwo Tarawali. How are you, sir?
Yeah, Mohammed, welcome to the show. And yes, what question do you have or contribution, sir?
Yeah, my question here is we know most especially people that live in the diaspora, people have a lot of bills, stuff like that. And then we know most people most people want to get into business. But at the same time, like most of your guests said on the show, you have to have passion for what you're doing for you to be able to successful in business. That being said, you know that you're going to face a lot of stumble blocks. So how can you face your family member, your husband, your wife, your parents saying, okay, well, um, we got all these bills, and I need to keep my job to pay those bills. But at the same time, I need to do something that I'm passionate about as a business. So how do you translate those messages, and how can you convince somebody, most especially like the spouse or the parents, saying after paying all this money in college, okay, I don't want to be a doctor, no, I want to be a model, or I want to do something different for what I went to school for. How do you translate this? Translate those messages?
That's very good. Yeah, this is a very beautiful question for our beautiful guest. So I will probably pick on one of them. Okay. Melrose, do you want to say something towards that? So the question really, you want to start a business, but your dad or mom wants you to become a doctor, or probably even your wife, don't want you to do it. How do you relay the message? Is that a question, Mr. Mohammed? I think probably it's gone. But that was, I think, if I got it right, that was the question. How do you relay the message to them that, you know what, I want to set up my own business. I don't want to do this doctor thing or this lawyer thing. I just want to do something around what I love. How do you do that? Meros, over to you.
Okay, Alfred, thank you. Honestly, back home, you know how it gets down when even the thought come into your head, not to talk about telling them actually, because our parents actually think of us as a bank, a reservoir where they have invested the money. And at the end of the day, on retirement, they expect us to actually take the lead to help them secure the retirement, to take care of them, and to be specific. And it's really, really crazy at first, you even thinking or telling them that, okay, mom, I'm sorry you had to pay all this money, but this thing I did in college, I don't want to do it. I'm not passionate about it. I want to start up a business, maybe let's say for farming, for example. Actually going through school, and our parents have this mindset that at the end of the day, when they have invested in us, we have to start working these white collar jobs and taking care of them. And even if the money is not up to what we initially had thought about, they feel proud. They have this ego when talking among the equals. Like, I have my daughter, she's working in this bank, she's a doctor in this hospital. You understand? And maybe this is not what we're passionate about. This brings me back to my interview today on my live show on Facebook, Mel's Moment Sierra Leone. That's the name of my page. I was talking to my friend. She was my guest today, and I never knew, but eventually she got to confide in me on the show to tell me that, Mel, I actually dropped out of College of Medicine last year. And I was like, what happened? And she told me it was just not for me. This was my dream at first, and when I grew up, it changed. This happened because when she was a little girl, we have these 4 professions I actually have talked about, and she chose one, that was to become a doctor. And this was what she was telling her parents all the time: I want to become a doctor. So it had laid in the parents' mind that my daughter is going to be a doctor. And when she was of age, and they told her, listen, we're going to pay for you to go into the medicine school. And she was like, okay. But when she went in there, she noticed that it was not for her. When she was little, she had envisioned that and told her parents, but it changed. And she wasted 2 years of her time. And at the end of the day, she dropped out of law school, College of Medicine school. And it was frustrating. She was depressed and everything. But having people that are understanding in your family, in your circle, actually helps a lot. Because if these people are supportive and they tend to believe in what you see, because it's your vision, you have everything in your mind, you've seen everything, and you're working out the details. So the only thing you need is a support system. So if there are bills actually to pay, honestly, but if people around you work together, do this collective effort. Everyone bring a little to the table, and not only you. This is the thing that is frustrating. You can't expect everyone to be 100% responsible for everything in the home. This is what kills us, especially Alfred. If I'm the one who brings everything to the table, something happened to me and the entire family will starve. So this is why it's important for us all to have collaborative efforts towards bringing something to the table and furthering our dreams and keeping the home running. So if I'm a doctor, maybe my wife will be a hairstylist. It's okay. It's her passion. She can do it. She will excel. As long as at the end of the day, she's happy and she brings something to the table, it's totally fine. If I were a man, that's the way I would have thought, honestly. So I think
fine. But you're not a man, you're a woman. But anyway, I'm just kidding. But again, yes, I think you make a lot of sense in what you're saying, a lot of sense. But I know some parents are just so difficult. I think the caller was really emphatic about what if you have a difficult parent that is not understanding. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Let's go to Mohammed. I'm going to still keep you on hold. You're a man, so I'm very discriminatory. Let me come to let come to the mamis, the mamina power. And that is our lady herself. And Almira, what do you think with regards to the question? Do you want me to rephrase it, or do you get a question from Mohammed, the caller?
No, I got the question. Actually, I was like, man, does he know about my life? Like, I went through all that. And at times I can still go through that, because as a creative, you end up switching your ideas and they have to flow with you. They're just like, I thought you were doing this, but I thought you, and then you're just like, but I want, and so it's funny when Mr. Muhammad was talking about, you need to focus, and it can linger for a while when you're just trying to figure out, well, I know I love fashion, but do I want to do women's clothing, men's clothing, or children's clothing? Do I want to do accessories? I went through that whole process and it did wear them out. I mean, for me, I went between husband, went through friends to parents, asking them to invest. And we have a caller on the line.
We have a caller on the line. Caller, how are you? And can you say your name or what's your question or contribution, please?
My name is Osman. I'm calling from Australia.
Fantastic, Osman. Welcome to the show. Please share your knowledge or questions that you want to ask.
I really love your show. I've been watching it for a while now. My question is regarding developing an entrepreneurial mindset. I think if you guys can elaborate a little bit more how someone can develop an entrepreneurial mindset. I'm a business student. I'm doing my MBA and internet double masters in innovation and business administration. So I want you guys a little bit to explain how someone can develop an entrepreneurial mindset. But then, because for me, from my perspective, to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, you need to decide what makes you happy and pursue that passion in life, because if people just go into business, like into startup, they don't like what they do, in ending of the day, it's bound to fail. And also the second question I have for you guys is like, in dealing with investments, like startups and those other things, when a startup want to start in a country, let's say for Sierra Leone, which is our parent country, they have to do what they call pastel analysis, which foreign investors have to actually analyze the political, economical, social, environmental, technological aspects of a country. So if I'm a foreign investor, now I want to go and invest in Sierra Leone. Before I move down to Sierra Leone to invest, I have to do all this analysis for me to be able to invest. If those analyses come back negative, which for most of the time it's for Sierra Leone as a case study, it's coming as a negative.
Caller, I think we've lost the caller, but I think I was trying. The second question I didn't quite get well, but I will answer both questions. Almira, please go ahead with the first caller. Answer the question, then I will kind of tackle the two questions. I think I'll kind of try to get the second question, but probably he might call back. So Almira, just continue, please.
Yes, well, I was speaking on You know, when you first start out being an entrepreneur, you have your ideas. And even though you feel like you focused it on one, there's still many aspects to that one idea. Like I was saying, you want to be a fashion designer, but then there's so many other things you can do with being a fashion designer. So then you end up traveling the road, which will take money, take resources, and then you may be tapping into resources that you shouldn't really tap into until later on. Because now you've brought your family into it, you've brought your friends, you've brought everybody into your brainstorming process. When you're going through the brainstorming time, that's not a time where you want to pull investors in, because you yourself you're not even sure if that's exactly what you want to do. So it's funny because me and Mr. Alfred had a talk on the side. I was like, well, what do you do if you've already tapped those resources? And he's like, well, now it's time for you to start looking for people who want to buy shares into your company. But even before you get there, you still have to focus. You still have to get your product in line. So how do you go back to your parents? How do you go back to the family that you've already, to them, they're just thinking, man, this is a disappointment. We put you through school to do this. They put me through school to do college. To do computers. I became a computer management information technology person, worked for the government. Well, I worked as a contractor for the government, worked in many agencies, but it wasn't satisfying to me. So I pulled out, and they're just like, whoa, all that money we spent. And I'm like, I spent some of it too now. It wasn't.
Nice one.
And you just don't want to die not doing your passion, because it was crazy. I had to explain to them. And that's one of the things I would have to boil it down to. You really have to let them know that when I was in this other field, I was miserable. There would be times where I would sit down crying, like, why am I here? My boss would catch me sketching or trying to create my fashion website, because that's what I really wanted to do. I didn't want to work with servers and do networking. Every time you go to work, you're regretting, you have this anxiety, like, why am I there? But you have to basically have a heartfelt talk with your family and let them know, look, if you just believe in me, or you just help me see the process through, maybe you have another opinion, maybe pull them in and say, hey, what is your thought or your train of action to approach this new career? Because if I stay in the old one, I'm going to get miserable, and I could possibly fall into depression. So I think that's where it boils down to.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Very, very well said. Very well put. I think you have to be honest about your decisions, and you have to let them understand that this is your life, and that you really will take responsibility if it goes wrong. But you believe deep down that this is for you, and let them, convince them. Probably develop an influencing skill. Sometimes it's very difficult, especially when you have a dad or mom that are very stubborn, and they, like Meros was saying, they have their peers, and all they talk about is, my son is a doctor, my is a lawyer. They take a lot of pride in that. But again, that brings me back to Mr. Mohammed. Sorry for keeping waiting. Mr. Mohammed, now, you did your degree, your master's in what specific field, sir?
Thank you, Alfred. I did my master's in peace and development studies, by the way.
Fine. So well, hold on. My question is coming, actually. Sorry, sir. You did your master's in peace and
development studies.
So ideally, someone would say you should be working for United Nations, right?
Correct.
So what are you doing in the pharmaceutical industry, for goodness sake?
Okay, thank you very much, Alfred. You see, in life, normally there are people who are fortunate, or who were fortunate to develop, to actually know their passion at an early age. For instance, I'll give you an example. You wrote a book titled 7 Million People. What
made 7 people the most successful? Yes.
Thank you very much. And I did a further research on a very nice gentleman you wrote about by the name of Bill Gates.
Yeah.
And guess what? He was opportune. He was fortunate as a young man to discover his purpose at a very early age. Now, his own case was a little bit different. And then what I've come to learn in life is that when you discover your purpose, when you discover what you want to really do in life, pursue it with every fiber of your being, and do not allow the circumstances around you to dictate the pace at which you go. Sometimes you have a lot of detractors, distraction, even from family members. For me, I developed a passion at a later date, at a later years in my career, in my job. I am working at the same time. I own my own business, which for me, that's one good thing when you become an entrepreneur. It's left with you. You can dictate the pace at which things go. Sometimes in some families, they find it extremely difficult for them to actually allow their children because they dictate what they want. You should be pauper. You should become a lawyer. Pauper, you should become a doctor. Pauper, you should become, a nurse or whatever of these professions. Melrose and our dear sister also spoke about. But again, you should take a decision for yourself. You should be ready to take the risk. You should be a risk taker, no matter what. Yeah. I mean, you have to be very unconventional because our parents, we fumble them out there, just believe saying one way. It's either you become a lawyer, you become an engineer or whatnot. If you don't become them three people there, so you don't become successful, of which I disagree. Because over time, I mean, research don't prove them, and individuals don't come for prove them. Like for me, I mean, my business is what I do right now. Not get nothing for do with my education. One thing no more with me, when university, it don't make me become universal in outlook. I can sit down talk with multilateral companies without any fear because I know what I talk. I know what I do. Yeah. So I equip me. So your education,
so in a way, that's like a transferable skill. You're transferring the skill that you actually acquired in the process into your business.
Correct.
Good.
Yes, Alfred. So it's a boost if you're educated. I mean, you can use any platform that will give you the ancillary support that you need to launch into whatever dimension in life you want to get into. Yeah. Because education really sets the stage for you. It gives you the ancillary support that you need to really propel you to do whatever you want to do in life. So again, having the entrepreneurial mindset is something totally entirely. It's a journey you have to take. Sometimes you might get frustrated. Your people will not even understand you. But I keep saying, be consistent in what you are doing. Be persistent. Not listen to too much of waiting and they tell you. Sometimes they will bring you down. You get people that when they don't believe, say, no, you don't have to do this. I mean, you won't succeed. So make sure you're really consistent with what you do and believe in your dream. That is one thing. Believe in what you do. Yeah. And pursue them to the letter. That's what is very key. If you keep listening to, they say if you listen to the voice of the market, buy anything. Sometimes your parents will say, well, all this year I will not invest in you. But I tell you one thing, I can shock you today, Alfred. What I do as an entrepreneur, I derive more satisfaction, more joy, even though I work, but yet I don't create job opportunity for people where they feed their family. It gets a ripple effect. So that's one thing. No, not just based on almost with skill, with knowledge, with ideas, and on just education. Yeah, it's good to be educated where they really give you, a boost for able to meet whatever you can able to meet with anybody in our life where you want to talk with, where you want to do business with, put your ideas in together and put them into action. So those limitations not really serve as an obstacle, but we came for like the call away call in concern that hey, Mama don't put me in school. You don't invest so much. You're an investment. You're not going in vain. But rather you just they follow what your passion call for. And sometimes we parents there out there, not they encourage you, not they create the enabling environment for we follow him for thrive in we dreams then. All now waiting and believe say, if you not become a lawyer, you not become a doctor, you're not successful. No?
Like Mero said, the 4 areas: lawyers, doctor, banker, and accountant.
Yeah. Right. So Lord also try for develop an entrepreneurial mindset. Start up the idea, come up with the idea, follow up through, and come and make sure you really, really, really stick to them and push them through. I believe you will succeed with God. I mean, everything is possible, bro.
Yeah. So which is what this show is about. I don't want to keep on too much because I know some are busy. So I want to just not get the last say. I will respond to that caller, the second caller later, but I don't want to really keep on much. So Meros, I will just say our last words. Or let's say, since you did already, Obi, Mr. Mohammed, you will say your last word to our audience, last tips or things we will carry on that we will move on to.
Okay, well, the parting words could be, with all young people them and viewers out there, Lord, make sure say we believe in dreams them and make sure we pursue them to the letter. Lord, remain consistent in whatever we do. Lord, be persistent and Lord, not give up.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you take the necessary actions, definitely results. I mean, you will get a good result at the end of the day. Not be discouraged, not be affected with whatever thing we people in the try for. The PhD syndrome just stay out there, but don't listen to them. Believe in your dream, pursue it, and you'll succeed. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. No go eat. Stay there. We'll get a party after this. We'll get a party after this. No go eat. Stay there.
Right.
Maris,
Okay,
let's bring you back. What would be your parting words? What you will say to those people watching us now, right now, around this topic, or just general advice, please?
So to all my amazing guests out here, I want to say thank you for watching us, for learning from us, and we really appreciate you. And personally, I just want to say, if there's something you know deep within you that you want to do, and you have the chance, the strength, and the knowledge to do it, just go ahead and do it. Even if you don't have everything to all the equipment or all the tools you need, but just start. On the way, you learn a few things. I mean, if there's a passion in you to do anything, no matter how stupid you may think people may think it is, just do it. As long as it's what's in your heart, that will be the thing the world will remember you for. So I love you all, and I don't want to take too much of your time.
We love you too. We love you too. Don't worry. And okay, on that note, we go on to the next speaker. Stay there, please. Now we go to the next speaker, guest speaker. Last but not least, Almira Wilson. Do you want to give your parting words, please?
Yes, I would say surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Make sure that, when you submerge yourself in that atmosphere that you want to be a part of. Like for me, it's fashion. So I put myself around other fashionistas, those who crave it like I do. Then you receive a lot of positive vibes. You want to push forward more because you see that they've succeeded in it. So now it's your turn, and they can help you along the way. So definitely get rid of the people and the naysayers. Stop spreading and giving them your dreams and your visions and your goals. Keep it to yourself, pray on it, meditate, and go for your goal. Do things in silent because it'll speak loud at the end.
Thank you very much. Wow, it has been inspiring, and thank you very much for those parting words. And before we actually go, I would like to kind of comment on the last caller's question, which was really about, I think the first question was about how do you develop the entrepreneur mindset. In fact, caller, please, that was our last week's topic. So if you're interested to know more, please go to our Facebook page and look at the program before this program. You will see that was exactly what we discussed last week. But in a nutshell, my advice would be, if you want to develop the entrepreneur mindset, there was an acronym called Big Pass. You need to read books around people who are successful, because success leaves tracks. What you need to do is read their stories and adapt it towards yours. And also, you need to be persistent. You need to surround yourself with the right people. You need to take action. Don't be afraid, because the only way to really learn or develop the right mindset is to take action and learn in the process. Like Les Brown would say, if you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can stand up. So yes, there will be times when you will fall. There are times when life will whoop you up, like beat you, but be strong, be focused, like Mr. Mohammed will say. Love what you do, because trust me, I love what I do. Trust me, I love what I do. I can be here in the morning, and I'm sure all the speakers can also be the same, but because we love what we do, we really like what we do. So that's exactly what we want for you, and that's what the God who made you wants for you. So I will just summarize the key points. Our topic tonight has been about the tools that you need in order to start your business. In other words, if you want to start your business right now, which tools you will need? We've heard about passion from Meros. We've heard about surrounding yourself with the right people from Almeria. We've heard about being focused and being persistent from Mr. Mohammed, and then a lot of others. So if you're just joining us, please, I will encourage you to go back and watch this video from the beginning. You won't regret it. It's a great investment. all these beautiful words that we will say right now. We can write a whole book. I'm telling you, we can transcribe it and people can learn from it. So thank you very much. Our topic for next week is going to be how to start a business today for less than $100. They go at the show now, how to start business. They go, 10 examples of businesses you can start right now, like right now, with less than $100, or in Sierra Leone terms, less than 800,000 leones. I'm sure you can get that money from your friends, or not if at least. But I encourage you. I don't encourage you to even not go to the bank. I don't encourage anybody to loan money to start your business from the beginning. Not do one. That will be a mistake. And I will tell you more, on this. But topic for next week is how to start a business today for less than $100. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure actually having you on our show. Thank you to our guest, and Miriam Wilson. You've been awesome. Mr. Mohammed Sandy, you've been awesome. Maris, oh my God, Sierra Leone. The internet not at least try for it today. Thank you guys. Have a good night. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alfred.
Thank you.
Bye.
My name is Aziza Job. I'm a presenter for Salone Education for All. This program going to count on every Wednesday 9:30 na Voice of Salone TV network. Ambulem, I want to grab a cup of juice. Una get something una go drink, and let una sit down and relax and watch and what they do na this show. And we always even encourage una, let una self call in and give una wonderful contribution. Send your comments in the content box, or we're able to read. And also, I want to remind una for let una share, invite your loved ones, invite family, so that we all go come together and join and push Salone go before. Thank you now all.